Okay, guys, let's put out an update real quick. This is April 28th. There's been some changes to Google algorithms, and there were two major ones in the past 2 months. The first one had no effect on us at all, and the second one also had no effect on us at all, except for one component, and that's the gray hat method of putting in hidden links in your pages. And certain ways of doing it were black hat, and certain ways were gray hat. And by gray hat, I mean there was justification for why Google might allow it for any period of time, but by now it's been too abused, really. And it did work for years, and so we were kind of obligated to teach you how to use it so you could keep up with everyone else. But now that Google's leveled the playing field for everybody by saying hidden backlinks, hidden links on your pages no longer count, you got to stop that with the hidden links. And it doesn't seem like it affects hidden links on pages on the same website, at least when I go back and search through sites that have hidden links to sitemaps and things like that that are on the same website. So far, I'm not seeing any effects. Some of you might be. If you are, that's the problem. Change your hidden link to a visible link. No, it does not have to be on your main index page anyway. It can be on your Contact Us page, About Us page, Terms and Conditions, Privacy, just somewhere connected to the main page of your website, so that when the Google bots start on the main page, that's where they begin, and then they follow the links to the sub pages, and that's like your Contact Us, About Us, Terms and Conditions, Privacy Policy, any link on the page really. They're going to look for more links. And so as long as there is a link somewhere from the top, you can physically click, you can see and click your way to a sitemap anywhere, whatever it is, then it is a visible link that Google will count, and those pages will get indexed. The majority of them will. And that's fine. So just make sure your links are visible, not hidden. We went through ranking, and in cases where your website relied heavily on hidden links, and in some cases some of mine as well, because I was testing when we released the placeholder V1 and V2, I put hidden link code on it, pointing my website out for website marketing. That way we could see how high that would climb. And that was important to be able to study as more and more people used it. And so by the time we had very many domains using it for, well, website marketing, I had climbed as high as page 2. And now that the hidden links no longer count from the second algorithmic update, I'm bumped down to page 40. Does that mean that I took a hit? No, it just means, it doesn't mean I was penalized or took a hit. It just simply means that the amount of extra boost I got from the hidden links no longer counts. It's just a correction in the math that says, oops, hidden links were being accounted for. Now they should not be being accounted for, and therefore won't count. So where would you wind up if you had not been using them? And that leaves me on page 40 now. How hard will it be for me to build it back up if I wanted to? Not hard. I create pages with visible links. Visible links probably score higher anyway, but there you have it. So that's the bit about hidden links no longer being allowed, visible links being okay. All right. Now, with visible links on pages, like backlinks especially, on pages that have no relationship to your website, Google seems to be taking a big stance against that, and that should knock out an entire bad industry that unfortunately everyone's had to be competing with because, again, Google was not correcting for the math for years. And so there's services that say, hey, we'll put 45,000 backlinks out on quality websites that point into you, that relate to you, and the answer is that's bogus. It's not true. And I know that firsthand. And you should know it too if you've been using the MOWG Pro. If a guy comes to you with a roofing project, do you have 45,000 websites for that guy? That's all about roofing. And then another guy comes to you with a landscaping project. Do you have 45,000 backlinks for the landscaping guy on 45,000 landscaping related sites? Probably not. And if you did, you probably had to get all those links individually, or you had to come up with a deal with individual places. What, 45,000 of them? What, you're going to make 45,000 calls and set 45,000 arrangements? No. Or even 4,500 if people own 10 of those sites. No, it's just not true. And when you chase backlinks down using tools to see where people did put your backlinks, they're on the weirdest sites of all. They're just comment spamming on different websites, and those web pages that are PR6 or better very often have zero to do with you, the backlink. So again, like I was always saying before, maybe there's a news article that came out about somebody in the British Parliament was absolutely upset because of such and such happened, and so there's a scandal in the British Parliament, and when you look down, you see in the comments, everyone's replying, and most of them say, gee, that's too bad. By the way, if you need janitorial supplies, click here, and then there'll be an ad, literally a link to a janitorial supply website. The janitorial supply website has nothing to do with the article, not even close. And that's why we created the placeholder websites, the V1 and V2, so we can create our own backlinks on sites we control and make sure that our own pages with our own backlinks on them match. The wording of the page and the backlink, of course, will match. That's the way the project was set up. And then as long as those words relate to what you do, Google gets it. If your backlink says internet advertising and your website says website marketing, Google's algorithms absolutely understand the comparatives right there. They know that internet advertising, internet marketing, website advertising, website marketing, etc., online advertising, online marketing, and so on are related. Even slightly or tangentially, there's just no relationship between the British Parliament guy getting peeved off and the janitorial supplies website that's putting up the ad. There's just virtually nothing there to go off of for relationship at all. And those are bad backlinks. Those things are probably costing you the rank that you've been getting before the correction. So here it is. If you have a whole lot of hidden backlinks on a whole lot of pages you put out, okay, how do you correct for that? Well, you can do a few things. One is just ignore them. Again, you're not being penalized by them. Google doesn't expect you to be able to go and correct all that stuff because many of those hidden backlinks exist on sites you have zero control over. You probably bought someone else's services. They did all that stuff for you, and you can't control it. Google knows that. They just simply recognize that they're hidden backlinks, and they don't count in a relationship to you. Just like static wording on a web page, which does not link to anything. It's just black print on a white background page or blue print on a red background page, but it's just print. And it doesn't point anywhere. There's no link involved. Then Google just realizes that that verbiage has nothing to do with you either. And so hidden backlinks probably cause no penalization whatsoever. They just cost you that extra marginal uncorrected rise in rank that they used to let slide for years and now finally crack down on. Backlinks that are bad, same thing. Just ignore them. Just simply move forward now, realizing everyone's in the same playing field. And for us, this is actually so much nicer because every time Google gets rid of bad things, then we just naturally can win so much better simply by doing what we do anyway. Because everyone is not able to take shortcuts. They have to create original content. It just so happens that we can do that well and fast and automatically, and most services cannot do it. They cannot do it right. They can't do it with all the links appropriate on the page in different categories the way they want, and the sitemaps all interlaced, and everything white hat, and everything readable, and blah, 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 blah. Not like we can. And so anything that makes it easier for us to win because there are fewer and fewer shortcuts to get around it, we welcome that. That's fine. It's beautiful. So in effect, there have been no effects on the MOWG system except for increasing rank, and I can even just show you generally speaking. For instance, when I say my website took the hit on the website marketing, it dropped from like page 2 to page 39 or something like that right now. That is that difference, a rise in rank. But then again, our other client that we got up for Learn to Blog on 2.5 billion page results is still in the exact same spot. Basically, he's page 4. He's still there, and he's there exactly because no one did any backlinks for him at all. Not hidden, not visible. They're just pages on his site. His site just happens to be really big about the theme Learn to Blog. Whatever. And it goes on and on. Look up the Roseville OB-GYN example. Same thing again. Didn't need backlinks to rank for that, and so it's not a problem. But backlinks themselves are fine as long as they're visible and related. Now, that should knock a whole industry off of Google unless they're just still there because they're like in a panic and don't know how else to make money now and they're lying to you. Because if they're telling you that they can put 45,000 backlinks on related pages, that's a lie. Unless they spin their own pages. And the best tool we've ever seen for that is the MOWG system. So if they don't use the MOWG system, beware of them. That's the best we can say. All right, so there's that. Now, how do you deal with it? One is don't worry about it. Just leave the pages there, but now just continue producing more pages that have no hidden backlinks, have visible backlinks, and all that scoring will work in your favor. You rise back up from page 39 to page 2 and onwards, whatever it is. Okay? In other words, you just keep adding to your score. Just do it correctly. Now, for guys who say, well, I still want to get rid of the backlinks, what can I get rid of the hidden links from the pages that exist without deleting the pages? The answer is yeah, it's a little more involved, but we taught you how to do it on the MOWG Pro Trainer anyway. Just go into your control panel, for your hosting account for websites. Go into your file manager and then just highlight the folders that have the hidden backlinks. Hit the compress button, choose zip format, zip them up, and then download it. Just simply download it. It's a really, really fast download that way to some folder on your desktop or whatever. Unzip them, and then run the search and replace tool to just simply change all that hidden link coding to nothing at all in the folder. So for instance, I would have had my folder here and I just call it something like fix them, whoops, well, whatever, rename, fix them, fixes, anything like that. And then I would download my whole folder set in here for a given website. Then I just simply visit it with the search and replace tool, right? And say all the subfolders, all the files, everywhere that it had the hidden coding stuff, like div class equals whatever, MOWG 3 or whatever it was, no script, just copy and paste it off on the pages and paste it in here. Replace that with nothing at all. And then hit the replace button and it'll fix everything. There just happens to be no files in there right now. And so when it's done, what do you do? Well, just delete the old zip files that were here because you unzipped them. Then re-zip them back up and then just upload them again onto your file manager and then extract them after you upload them. And that's the coolest thing. You can extract the zip file you uploaded so that it's a really fast way of getting pages down, making corrections, and then putting them back up again. And you can change anything you want universally across all the pages that way. All right, that way you fix it. And if you want, you can go the extra mile of putting invisible links instead of the hidden links. You can change the hidden links with nothing and then change something like your end body tag with a list of visible links. That makes sense across the bottom, like little footer links, and then run it up. Whatever it is you want to do, and that's cool. That stuff can add to your score again by doing stuff the right way. So don't play around with the hidden links anymore. That won't work. Now, for guys who say, even that's too complex for me, what's a quick and easy way of dealing with it? And the answer is, well, just delete the folders. Go into your control panel, go to your file manager, highlight the folders and delete them, because you can always whip new pages out with the MOWG Pro, no problem. And people will say, and they'll be right to say, well, that would stink, because what if somebody's coming and a bunch of my sites or pages are just down, and I've got something like, hello, let me just kind of do something that makes sense here. Home, cyclone. Okay, and let's say I just deleted a folder, who knows which one, and it deleted all these pages. So now since they are indexed in Google and sometimes they get traffic, if somebody hits that page, it's going to say page not found. Oh man, so all these things that are getting visitors, I just lose the visitors, right? I mean, I don't get the visitors, right? The answer is you can easily deal with that, and here's the way you do it, okay? This is something that actually, surprisingly, I just found out a little while ago. Some of you guys know it, some of you don't. It's funny how different everyone's education can be in this case. And so I found this out, and I just thought, oh man, I should have known this before and told people this before. It's so incredibly cool. You go to your htaccess file. You guys probably know what that is. That contains some basic top level commands, like what PHP version to use, what Apache version to use, what SQL to use. In any particular custom coding that needs to be used for your website goes in the htaccess file. All kinds of things can be put in there. Guess what one of those things is? If I edit this, okay, this is what it always said by default. It said use PHP 5 single PHP.ini as default, add handler application, ... I don't know what this means. All I know is I can put a couple of lines in, or I can just do this below. It doesn't matter. But I just felt like putting this at the top. Here's how it works. Put in exactly what you see here. One word, no space, called error document. And since this is a Linux server, I will put a capital E and a capital D, because those are very, very different than a lowercase e and a lowercase d on Linux. They're as different as two different numbers like 5 and 6. Okay, so be exact. Error document is one word with a capital E and a capital D, and that's my recommendation. And then this is an error document command. So you need a space after it so that the server knows that we're talking about error document. It's got to be an exact match. Then a space, and then we have 404. That's the page error we're going to discuss. What to do about. So we have a space after that. So whenever there is an error issue, that is a 404 error, which means page not found, redirect automatically to here just instantly. And that's exactly what it does. Does this have to even be a page on the same website? Nope. It can be any page on the internet, and it doesn't have to be the home page. This could be /services.html. It could be something with folder 1, folder 2, whatever it is. It doesn't matter at all. Just the idea, of course, is make sure this is a real page. So now that you have that change made, save, close, and upload it to overwrite. Okay, just overwrite. It's there now. How do you test it? Any old way will do. You know, you could go look up some of the searches, but here's an easier way. Let me just introduce a page that probably doesn't exist, right? How's that? Guess what? It just goes right to the page I specified. Get it? And that works for all the subdomains and everything else too. The top level, they all get redirected here, and that's perfectly fine with me. That way, if somebody's clicking on links that don't exist anymore, you don't lose the traffic. If they click this thing and this doesn't exist anymore and they click it anyway, it will redirect to the main page of the site. That's the idea, or the top level domain anyway. Just probably there's one htaccess at the top level domain, so just kind of keep that in mind, right? But it can redirect to whatever web page I say. All right, so it doesn't have to be MOWG Crew. It could be MOWG-samples.com. It could be anything else. And it doesn't have to be the main page. Like I say, it could be any other page. So there you go. This way, once you do that once with the htaccess file, that works for everything because there's only one htaccess file here on the server. And that way, with this htaccess here, and I don't know if this works for add-on domains, if you can just copy and put the htaccess into the root of each add-on domain. Frankly, I don't think it works, but then I don't actually know. And I don't even have a reason to test it, so I'll leave the testing up to you. It's just simple. Try it and see if it works. But this way, once you do it once, then anything I do on this server, anytime I decide to delete pages, I don't have to worry about losing visitor traffic to it. For as long as Google continues to happen to index a bunch of those broken links for reasons I do not know, Google just hasn't come back and seen that they're broken yet, or just doesn't realize when it sees page error not found that it's a broken link. Instead of ever having that issue, the 404 error will redirect to the page I want. And so I can delete folders with pages anytime I want, and I will not lose the traffic as a result. I'll get the traffic anyway, because they'll be redirected to the page I said on that htaccess file. Okay, I think a bunch of you guys are probably dancing an Irish jig and laughing and running around the living room, wondering how many times have you had frustration over that and just not knowing what to do about it? Now you know what to do about it. And it's so simple. Take that htaccess file and make the same tweak on every website you have control over, and no one's ever going to have to worry about broken links ever again, leading to no traffic or a loss of traffic. All your links that broke still lead to traffic. The traffic still gets there, wherever it is that you really want them to go. Some page that does exist, some top level page or some special page or intro video page or terms of use page or about us page or anything it is you want. All right, guys, I hope you found that interesting about the error document. Now, in the next video, I'm going to cover the latest, greatest over to UAP, the Universal Affiliate Pages, what it's done in 2 files here. And it's absolutely amazing, and the implications are just incredible, and what people are starting to do with it now is already incredible. And for any of you guys that, from the latest algorithmic changes, whether it's through our software or other software or anything else you were doing online, you were barring a bunch of bad backlinks from bad guys, and you kind of knew it, but you knew you couldn't blame the player, you had to blame the game. And for years you were stuck doing that, and now you're done doing that. Any of you guys who took hits and you're losing income as a result, first thing, if you have broken pages, use that error document 404 method of dealing with broken pages so you don't have to worry about losing traffic. Second thing, what I'm going to show you in the next video is by far much better and more important than trying to offer internet marketing opportunities of any kind. Probably. Unless, of course, you own the internet money-making opportunity. I own my stuff. It's my stuff. And so, of course, I promote my stuff. But would I ever be somebody else's affiliate promoting theirs? Very rarely, and only for specific reasons, like the best spinner that we use, right? Just specifically for that, or Host Monster, just specifically for that. Would I try to make a living off of being an affiliate for any of those things? Heck no. That's just some nice grease income on the side. It's not enough for me to live off of, I'm quite sure. And I'm going to show you what's already proving to be much easier, much faster, something you can implement in about 20 minutes flat, and about 40 more minutes of work after waiting for the page. As soon as the page is indexed, it takes like 40 more minutes to make like 2,500 bucks, literally. 5,000 even. It just depends on the run you do. You're going to be amazed by the value of it. It's crazy. But it really means that it's probably the highest average hourly wage you can make with the least amount of work, because you don't have to talk to 100 people on the phone to get it done like you would in any affiliate program when you're trying to tell everyone you're the best affiliate of the program and you have something special for them. In those cases, you have to run webinars, or you have to offer something amazing, or hand train a bunch of people, or send off a bunch of documents to every new buyer, because you're trying to make yourself better than every other affiliate and offer more than just buying the thing alone, right? For all you guys who just think you could be silent affiliates and just somehow make a ton of money, well, watch the webinar. The webinar we put out with George and Brian, and you see what happens when people actually get so powerful that they beat the owner on the keywords that they were winning in SEO on Google. It's amazing, right? These guys, what happened to Brian? They were making probably 300,000 a month or whatever it was on a certain keyword like entrepreneurs one, and then all of a sudden Brian outranked them, and they said, "Hey, stop it, please." And Brian had to say, "Why do you mean stop it?" "Hey, well, we want you to go post in e-signs and classifieds. This is what you should really do." And he said, "Are you kidding me? Why? I'm getting the most traffic from being here on Entrepreneurs Only, or whatever, Entrepreneurs Wanted." And that's just it. They were making maybe 300,000 a month off of that one keyword, or 30,000 a month, who knows, say 300,000 a month. Just for illustration, here's what it is. If he outranks them and now they're losing like half, now they're losing all the traffic to him because he's outranking them, just about all the traffic. But more importantly, they got to pay him like half. Well, they just lost 150,000 a month. That's 1.8 million a year that they just took in pay drop. All because he knew how to beat them on the keyword. What if he beats them on every keyword they have? They're counting terrific losses just over one splinter in their heel, and that's him, right? Actually winning. What happens when you guys are promoting your affiliate stuff and you start beating the owners and they have to take their own pay drops? You know what they do? They cut you out of the program. So for all you guys who are just spending all your time thinking about being the internet opportunists and stuff, and you got to fight for words like work from home, work at home, make money from home, make money fast, get rich today, quit your job tomorrow, moms work at home, you're fighting against a terrific amount of competition, and you're trying to win something you can only win temporarily because your competitors get bumped down. That lowers their pay, so they have to fight back, and as they produce more content to fight back, you get bumped down when you notice that you have to go, "Ah, man," and hit the button again to fight back, which isn't hard. It's just a pain. And why do it anyway when the owner of the program is going to cut you off because you're finally cutting into their pay and they don't like you, right? We've got a much better, more subtle, far more useful, far faster, far more efficient, cleaner, nicer, friendlier, far less work involved way of making money really fast and easy with this system that can amount to things like 100 grand a month and more, and without the worry like you do when you start to beat the owners of the money making opportunities, and now they don't like you anymore and they kind of want you gone because you're costing them money. So this is what we're going to talk about in the next video. It's a really big deal. All right. Hope you enjoyed that bit about the error document 404, and now you know not to use hidden backlinks, use visible ones. And so we'll continue on to the next thing. Okay.